Good evening. I wanted to make this video to expose some of the questionable things I've been seeing on Netflix as of late. Over the past couple years, I've been noticing some very peculiar things on this site. Now we all know that Netflix, being a multi-billion-dollar corporation under the control of the New World Order, is going to be putting out a lot of agendas and movies and TV shows and comics and cartoons that further whatever agenda they want to push on us. The common people, the citizens of whatever countries they rule over, which is pretty much all of them. And I've made a pretty sizable collection. It's not like 110, it's just like 80. I have some other stuff on this list, but I've made a collection of all the things that I've seen that are undoubtedly part of the agenda that they have set up to, further whatever cause they're going for. Now, let's start off with this show Supernatural, right? This was really popular back in 2005. And of course, as you can read, it's about monsters and ghouls and stuff like that. And stuff like this is promoting, like demonic, like it's promoting occultic stuff. Occult, possession, evil, the dark side, stuff like that. That's what shows like these are promoting. Netflix has that on there. American Horror Story. This was really popular. It still is. Emmy winning, as you can clearly see. And stuff like this, particularly, is meant to desensitize the American public to horror. To messed up things, right? Because they have all kinds of stuff here. Like you'll have stories about serial killers, right? You'll have like serial killers and stuff. Let me see. You'll have like ghosts but there'll be stuff in here about all kinds of evil topics that 20 years ago you wouldn't see on TV. No one would be putting stuff like this. No one would be brave enough to put stuff like this on TV, but now they are. And now it's on Netflix of all places. Netflix, as you can see, it's a Netflix original. Here you go. See? Right there. Right there. It's promoting witchcraft. With both of these shows, right? Mary and the Witch's Flower. An ordinary girl picks up an extraordinary flower, goes to a college for magic. Witchcraft and magic, that's what they put out. Now, a lot of them do. School for Witches, bumbling heroine. So again, more witchcraft. Disney pushes this kind of stuff too, but so does Netflix as well. Now, a big thing that I've noticed is one-eye symbolism, right? One-eye symbolism. Like, look at this. The Joe McHale show with Joe McHale. If you can pronounce, I don't know how you pronounce that last name. On the side of outside of the really weird title, you could just call it the Joe McHale show. You didn't have to add the with McHale, but you can easily see one-eye symbolism. Like, look at this. I'm not making this up. Look. You see? Clear as day. Right? The people of the occult, Freemasons, people in that who worship those societies, they use symbols like these. Like they cover up one eye and usually leave the left eye uncovered. And see, if you look closely, you can notice that the way the creases are in the eye, and the way that space is, like right, right. See the creases here, the space here, the way the eyebrows arch. It looks like the Eye of Horus, which is a very common, very popular, very well-known symbol of the occult. And Freemasons and all those kinds of people. Scandal, you can see subtle one-eye symbolism, right? One eye is partially covered. You can just see this part of the eye. And this, you can obviously say I don't like this show. I don't like any of these shows. I'm just using them for this video. I'm gonna take them off the list pretty soon. Probably gonna get off Netflix pretty soon. This stuff is just all garbage. But this show, of course, is propaganda, right? All of this stuff is propaganda, essentially. I mean, each thing serves a different purpose, right? This is just mindless drivel. This is witchcraft. Desensitizing and exposing people to horror and the occult. This is political propaganda. A team of lawyers make scandals disappear. And one has to ask how they do that, right? How do you make a scandal disappear? Right? Isn't that kind of like the Gestapo in World War II? Nazi Germany just made things disappear. I know that's kind of a stretch, but still. And they're protecting politicians, handling government crises, making sure that the people in top are protected. They're not put on the spotlight or anything. And of course, it wouldn't be Netflix without homosexual propaganda, right? They're not friends, but when their husbands leave them for each other, so you can always see what they're trying to push there. And of course, they couldn't just have it. Crap. Couldn't just have it being, just a show. They have to have it being, Emmy nominated, right? Then you have religious, anti-religious propaganda, anti-Christian propaganda, mind you. A young priest's faith is tested when he finds himself attracted to a woman. He meets at confession. So, these guys are just blatantly spitting at religion at this point. Right, with a title like Good Catholic. Like you have to actually put the word good in there to make it known that he's actually good. Right? He's not just inherently good, he's a good Catholic. Then you have the good witch, see? Here you go again. Raising her daughter in a small town, an enchanting, magic, witchcraft, widow. An enchanting widow with magical powers provokes the interest and exasperation of a skeptical big city doctor. So of course, all this show is how many episodes is it? 34 episodes are essentially just 34, 42-minute episodes of just propagating witchcraft, right? Painting it as being this cool thing. It's not evil, it's not prohibited, it's not, forbidden. It's actually a cool thing. That's what they want to teach you. Tao, she's kidnapped by an inventor, uses her as a test subject to perfect this robotic AI. So they're promoting the transhumanism, no, not really the AI agenda, the robotic agenda. That's what they want to put forward. And here, essentially have, propaganda for the future. What they're going to be doing in the coming years, right? Inflicting war on other nations, inflicting martial law. That's what they're planning to do, and here you have the country being turned into a war zone. It's trying to condition people for what's to come. And, 10, 20 years, maybe even less. And movies like this, movies like Disney's Hercules, outside of pagan Greek gods, they're not really that occultic. But, yeah, you can definitely see they're just putting one-eye symbolism in there. But they'll put one-eye symbolism in there just for the hell of it. Just to show that they have control over the media, over the movies, over the cinematic industry. They'll just put it in there just as a sign of dominance, essentially. Like marking their territory, pretty much. House of Cards. This is political propaganda. All this stuff is propaganda. This is political. And the ruthless politician, something to conquer DC in this Golden Globe winning drama. So of course, here they're conditioning people to accept all the crap the government does, the corruption, the greed, the desire for these guys to control everything. They're just conditioning people for that. You have the upside down flag. It's obviously telling you something. Obviously telling you that, what's going on in the government. What it's all about, what they're really trying to do. Which isn't to help people. It's not to help the ordinary average guys. That's not to do that. That's not their goal. Gallow Walkers, nothing. It's a weird movie, but nothing too occultic about it. But it's got just one-eye symbolism just for the hell of it. And of course, you have a homosexual propaganda over here. And I'll pronounce you Chuck and Larry. Remember this movie? Came out in 2007. It's got big name actors too. Adam Sandler, Kevin James. It's not a small little movie. It's pretty. It's got a sizable cast, and here you have two guys, coming together so they can get, benefits for the kids, stuff like that. It's just outrageous what they're trying to do, what they're trying to push. Of course, while you got, the men doing this, right? You got the lesbian side of it too. They're looking to jumpstart a career. A lesbian nightclub owner accompanies a woman with AIDS on a cross-country drive from New York to Los Angeles. Right? And again, you have big names: Whoopi Goldberg, Mary Louise Parker, Matthew McConaughey. I don't know what he does, but pretty decent names. Pretty decent resume for this film. And you can see what they're promoting. The homosexual agenda. Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut, pretty self-explanatory, right? Through the night, where this is about the occult. If you watch the movie, it's all about the secret society. There's scenes in it where they have like a party, they're all wearing masks. It's pretty bizarre, but tells you a lot. And you can see one-eye symbolism right there. On both of them, pretty much, especially on the woman. Mulan, just like Hercules, nothing too satanic about this movie, outside of the fact that it's it's like ancestor worship and stuff, which it actually could be. If you really think about it, it could be. It could be satanic. But you can see one-eye symbolism there. You have one half being a woman, one half being a man. And this movie in particular is also for like the homosexual agenda, because it's promoting cross-dressing, which is heavily liked by those kinds of people, those demonic people that push that kind of stuff and practice that kind of stuff, that walk down the street like that. And of course, here you have obviously race baiting, social propaganda, right? White right meeting the enemy. Divide and conquer pretty much is getting all people of all different colors against each other just because of colors. Just dividing people so that they're fighting each other instead of fighting the people who are actually causing them trouble, who are actually causing the pain and suffering and chaos that goes around them every day. They institute policies that put the country in a state that like it is now. You have the movie Dope, obviously trying to put a decent light, a nice light on the narcotics trade. It's not that bad. It's not that evil. It's just people got to do what they got to do. Decriminalizing drugs, right? Part of the hedonistic agenda. They want people to use drugs and stuff like that. That's what these satanic occultists want. They want people to be on those kinds of substances because that attaches you from God, and it makes you it just fits in more to their plan. And that's what they want. They want society to be chaotic. They want it to be insane. And you can't have insanity without dope. Can't have a real party without drugs, can you? Yeah. I mean, I used to like Dave Chappelle, right? Dave Chappelle has a little stand-up comedy. I used to like him, but you can obviously tell that they either he turned coat, he's a turncoat at this point, or he just killed him and replaced him with a lookalike or a clone. I mean, they did something. I mean, I know that this guy here, he would not go on Netflix like this. He wouldn't do it. Like, he was anti-establishment, anti-industry, everything. And that's probably why you see the guy here on this show, on Netflix of all places, where a guy like him who spoke out like he did would have the least chance of being here. You can tell that Netflix is actually the ones propagating a lot of this stuff. You can see like Netflix original, Netflix original. I mean, it's all over the place. And we're just not even halfway. I mean, we have a lot to go through. This movie Kiss Me First, virtual reality, transhumanism, robotics, self-explanatory, Netflix original, of course. And you can even see, the pyramid right there, right on her forehead. Right there. Right there, yeah. So, yeah, more symbolism right there. Another common symbol, as we all know, the pyramid. Dear white people, obviously race-breeding propaganda pushed by Netflix. Black kids in Ivy League college making fusses. Not that I'm saying that racism isn't a deal. It is a deal, but you can definitely tell when people are actually trying to do something about it, or just make race-baiting propaganda, which is what Netflix is doing. Once upon a time, in this fantasy series, a young woman is drawn into a small Maine town, discovered is filled with elements of the fairy tale world, the magical world, right? Witchcraft, magic, sorcery, all that. And here you have one-eye symbolism with the witch, showing one eye. The show Green Arrow for DC Comics, obviously one eye symbolism. Right? Look at it, pretty blatant, right? Look, they're like identical. Look at it. I'm not making this up. I'm not. You can't make this up. It's right in front of you. You don't need to make it up. Stranger Things. This is a pretty popular show, Netflix original, of course. And of course, we all know what it's about. It's about occultic stuff, government experiments, putting stuff like that out there, conditioning the masses for it, right? Dumbing them down, desensitizing them to ghosts and demons and stuff like that. Quantico, more political propaganda, more military propaganda, terrorist attack. And let me tell you something. I mean, there's no terrorist attacks in this country, in America or in Europe. Right? The vast majority of terrorist attacks aren't what you think they are. They're false flags. Government sends people out there who are brainwashed or actually work for them to shoot up a place, and they'll use that to their advantage. To implement gun control or stricter surveillance or more defense spending or whatever they want the people to follow. And then the first step is, before you even fire a bullet, you have a show like this, right? You just have them chasing down scary, evil terrorists. I mean, the government's the one who are the actual terrorists, if you really think about all the crap that they do. All the ways they poison and attack the common man. I mean, some jihadists with an AK-47 could never do the kind of damage that these people could do, that they already do every single day. Queer Eye. You know what you know exactly what they mean by that first word. You know exactly what they mean. Grab some tissues, an all new Fab Five, serve up some hip tips, emotionally charged. Man, just give me a break. You can tell what they're trying to push with this. Wormwood. In this genre-bending tale, Errol Morris explores the mysterious death of a U.S. scientist entangled in the Cold War experiment known as MK Ultra. So I mean, news of this experiment, this project got out. They're just using shows like this to water it out. They'll dilute it, right? Desensitize people to this kind of stuff. Normalize it through shows like these. Showing it's just a government thing, right? Nothing bad about it. They're not trying to control people or figure out ways to influence people with drugs or hypnosis or stuff like that. After Master of None. I mean, this Netflix show, this is just essentially mindless fluff. I mean, they'll use propaganda like this to get them in line with their agendas. They'll just use mindless fluff like Master of None, this show with the Indian guy. Just put him in just for fluff, mindless fluff, just mindless crap that he just put there, just to entertain them, I guess, just to keep them satisfied, just to give them a funny little show with some chuckles to keep them happy. And, I mean, a lot of the stuff on this website is just like stuff like this, just mindless fluff, not propagate. It might be propagating stuff. There might be some homosexual or drug stuff in there. I don't know. But yeah, definitely something to watch out for. Don't watch this kind of crap. This isn't good for you. I mean, I never do. I read a lot. And of course, here you have Breaking Bad, very, very, very popular show, 4 stars. Legalizing drugs, decriminalizing it, glorifying it. Going in with that drug agenda. Here you have one-eye symbolism, right? Normal eye, demon eye. And you have, of course, the demonic agenda. Pushing that out there, demonic possession, stuff like that, crap like that. Bad match. Just one part. This movie just like Bad Batch is like mindless fluff. And of course, just getting people more in line with the digital age. More in line with social media, dating apps, stuff like that, which you shouldn't be on. I mean, that's not good for you psychologically, but they're propagating it. I mean, the open house, one-eye symbolism right there. See, in plain sight. And of course, following a tragedy, they go to a house, and of course, you have more stuff dealing with demons, probably maybe some possession, unexplained forces, poltergeists, evil spirits, stuff like that. You can obviously tell that it's not good. Whatever they're trying to put out there, it ain't good to watch. The movie Glow, 1980s LA, a bunch of misfits go amateur in wrestling, written by Orange is the New Black. So put two and two together. Put the Netflix label on there. Put Orange is the New Black. You can easily tell that they're probably involved in the feminist agenda, empowerment, and crap like that. Maybe even homosexuality as well. There might be lesbians. There might be drug use and crime and stuff like that in there as well. The movie Bright, this is a big one. Another Netflix goodie. And an LA rife with interspecies tensions. Subconsciously they're trying to tell, interracial tensions, because that's what LA's famous for. Human cop and his alien work partner stumble upon a powerful object and become embroiled in a turf war. So of course this is dealing with aliens. I watched a bit of it. There's like some AI, transhumanism in there, and of course you got Will Smith in there too. So this isn't like a small little movie. It's not like a little indie flick. It's got a big actor, and one of the biggest in the world famous, who's also been in movies like Men in Black, which deals again with aliens and of course technology and AI and transhumanism. This was like a perfect fit for him, right? He's also been in movies like I, Robot as well. More transhumanism, more alien, more robots and AI. What the Health? This film example the link between diet and disease and the billions of dollars at stake in the healthcare, pharmaceutical, and food industry. So here they're trying to desensitize you to what the food, pharmaceutical, and healthcare industries are doing. All the corrupt practices they're doing. I mean, of course they're going to paint it as evil and bad, but they're just going to water it down. Talk about all the good things that they do, how they help, and just essentially dilute. They're going to take the truth and just dilute it to the point that, they're barely even criticizing them at this point. And of course, you can easily tell that, by the billions of dollars at stake in the healthcare, pharmaceutical, and food industries, you can easily tell exactly. I mean, you should already know what these industries are about, but that just shows you that, sorry about that, that they're industries first, and, guardians of health second. They don't really care about health. That's what the thing is really showing. Mr. Nobody, you have more transhumanism, right? He's the last mortal in the world of immortals. He's the only guy who didn't get the transhumanism operation. So that's what they're propagating here. He's, trying to decide if he made the right decision. They're trying to tell you that, maybe when, crap like this comes out, you should probably take it, or you might wind up like this guy, right? Pushing that. You have another Netflix goodie exposing the food industry, see, like this one, essentially, same thing. They're gonna make it look like they're evil, but they're just gonna miss the point entirely. They're just gonna desensitize you to it. Not gonna educate you on anything. Here you have I'm not an easy man. A shameless chauvinist gets a taste of his own medicine when he wakes up in a world dominated by women and locks horns with a powerful female author. So here you have feminist propaganda, right? I'm not an easy man. When you look at the guy, definitely not an alpha male. I mean, Christ, that guy could be a fucking woman. If I'm gonna be honest with you, Jesus, look at the motherfucker. Some, of course, more feminist propaganda drilling into your brain. shoving it down your throats. Elder Lisa singer, elder millennial, newly engaged comic. I mean, you are a joke. I mean, you're not a comic. I mean, you are a joke. I mean, that's what I'll call her. Of course, this is just more feminist propaganda. Probably talks about stuff like homosexuality too, stuff like that.